Good morning, everybody. So today's tutorial, we're going to go over braiding because that was one of our requests, and I think it'll be quick and easy. We're also going to announce the winner from yesterday, so thank you for everybody for commenting. So if you want to enter today, make sure that you comment on today's video, and we use a random number generator, and we come up with a winner. Another thing that we're going to talk about is these amazing little, so bright. Let me just see if I can turn this down. These are color depositing shampoos and conditioners from Fabuloso. So this is the purple one. So it works really, really, really good for depositing purple tones in your hair and canceling out yellow. It also comes in a few other colors. It comes in light beige. So if you're not a platinum blonde, you could do the light beige one. And caramel. So if you have more of a warmer, darker blonde, the caramel one's for you. The caramel one would be great for my hair. And it comes in chestnut, and we're sold out of the copper one. So if you have red hair, and the mahogany one, because those are the top sellers, because a lot of redheads want to brighten it up. All right, so then let's turn this on here. So we have a little bit of better lighting. So we are going to do French braids. So a French braid is very similar to a regular braid. But you need to make sure that you know how to do a regular braid first. So as far as prepping the hair, you want the hair to be a little bit grippy. So the mannequin is perfect because we've been using her all week for all our demos, so her hair's really, really covered in product. So it'll grip and hold into the braid. So to do a regular braid, you're just going to section the hair into 3 parts. And there's 2 main techniques with braiding. You can do over, so that's the one way. So you're just literally taking the outside hair and putting it in the inside. So right now I'm doing an over braid. This is going to be important to the next part of the tutorial. And then you can also braid under. So it's basically the same as the other braid, except for you're braiding. So you're taking the bottom part and putting it in the middle, bottom part in the middle, and then the braid sits on the top. So let me know if you can see that. So that's just a regular braid. So when you're French braiding, what you're doing is you're sectioning the hair and you're adding into the braid as you go. So if you go back to the regular braid here, as you're adding into it, you're also going to add a section of the hair that you're going into. And hopefully that makes sense. I'll try not to go too fast. I'm a pretty quick braider, so I need to slow down and make it easier. So the first thing you want to do is section the hair. We're going to do 2 braids. I'm going to do one braid where the braid is in the hair, which is a traditional French braid. And then the other side, I'm going to do a Dutch braid where the braid actually sits on the section. So I'm just going to clip away the hair on the one side and get it out of my way. So anytime you're braiding, you want to make sure that you detangle the hair really, really well. If you don't do that, you're going to get halfway through the braid and you're going to find that it tangles and that you get stuck. So that part's important. I might even move this a little bit closer so that you guys can see a little bit better. Perfect. Nope. All right, so this is the Rule Breaker paste that I used yesterday. It's a really, really light cream, but it also has a little bit of hold. Whenever you're doing braiding, you might want like a cream or an oil just on your fingertips. It just helps with the smoothing of the braid so you don't end up getting lumpy. So this is going to be our traditional French braid. So you always want to start with a triangle section at the front. Maybe I can turn it a little bit so you can see. And you're going to section that into 3 different sections. So because we're doing a regular traditional French braid, we're going to take the outside one and go to the middle. I always like to start at the top because it'll just help with when you're grabbing the hair on the next section. So start at the top, put it in the middle, then you're going to take the bottom and put it in the middle. The hardest part with this is holding all the sections of hair at the same time. So now we're gonna actually start the French braid part. So I'm gonna take this part, which was originally the middle, it's now on the outside, and we're gonna put it in to the middle section. Once we get it into the middle, I'm gonna grab a new section of hair and I'm gonna add it in with that middle section. So you can see now, I still only have 3 sections, but now this one is a little bit thicker. So now the bottom one I'm gonna take and put into the middle, and then I'm gonna take a section of hair and put it into the middle with it. So now that one's a little bit thicker. So now this middle section is on the top now because we switched them, and that one's gonna go into the middle, and we're gonna get another section of hair. And if you do get any tangles, just brush out the hair as you go and smooth it out and put it in. And then the next one, same thing, another section, go on into it, smooth it out if needed, go into the middle. Now we're at the top, going back into the middle. So I find it's easier for me if I take the piece of the braid and put it into the middle at first and then add the hair. So now I've moved it into the middle, and then I grab a section of hair and slide it in. You want to make sure that you have lots of tension on the hair so that it's not falling out in your hands, and that's where having the hair a little bit grippy, it really helps with that. So now I'm going to do this section and braid it in. Now we're almost to the bottom, so I'm just going to finish this up, and then I will show you the effect. So basically you're just repeating the same process over and over again. It takes a while really to get your fingers to do it properly and to learn how to get all those pieces in your hand as you're doing it. I find that I have really good dexterity because I do hair all the time. So you want to just continue all the way to the bottom. Once you get to the bottom, there's no more hair to add in, and then you just braid it like a traditional braid. So you're pretty much doing a traditional braid the entire time, and you're just adding hair into each section as you're going along. So this is a traditional French braid. So what that means is that the braid is sitting under the hair, so the hair is coming up and into the braid. So you're gonna see on the next one the regular French braid, or the Dutch French braid. So I'm gonna try and do it so that you guys can see. Wonder how the best way to do this would be. I might have to just tilt her a little bit so that you guys can see, but I can also use the same mannequin. So same thing on this side, you want to brush out the hair, make sure it's not too tangly, because otherwise that'll give you, the hair kind of starts to get wound up as you're going, so if it's tangly to start with, you'll never get through it and it'll be horrible. So then we're going to take a little bit more of that rule breaker and put it on our fingers. It just helps like with the smooths and the flyaways. Okay, so you're going to take this section, just like we did on the other side, and you're going to divide it into 3. But this time, instead of taking the outer section and going over into the center, you're actually going to go under. This is the most, like I do my braids mostly this way. I find they're tighter and easier to work with. So you're going to go under. So you're going to take the section from the middle, and now it's under, hold it, grab from under and add it in. Then you're going to put the outside in, take an outside, and put it in. I just find it's a lot easier to control the braid if you do a Dutch braid, so you can get a tighter look. And then I find if you're doing updos, then you have the braid sitting on top of the hair. So as you texture and flounce it out, you get a much nicer look. So the only difference is instead of braiding in on top, you're literally pulling the section underneath, but you're still putting it into the middle. So you continue on. And see, so this is my outside section, and I'm going under and putting it into the middle. After I've done that, I grab a section and add that to that one, and then pull tight. And then this is my outside section, pulling it in. And then you continue to go along like that. So you can see as I grab sections, I make sure I smooth them out as I go. This mannequin has really curly hair, as we learned in the other videos, so her hair's a little bit on the frizzy side, which helps with the braiding, but also can be a little bit annoying with the frizz. And that's why some people prefer to braid wet hair. So you just continue to go all the way to the bottom. I'm kind of getting at a weird angle now because she's tilted. And then you just continue braiding underneath. So instead of pulling the outside section and putting it in the middle on top, you're doing it on the bottom. Okay. And I'll just put an elastic in there.
Okay, sounds good. So we have you booked in on the 15th and the 20th at 12.
So you can see the difference. This is the regular French braid. And then this one is the Dutch French braid. So you see the braid actually sits on top of the section. So as I was braiding, instead of pulling the hair into the center from the outside, I was taking it from the center and putting it in the center still. Taking it from the outside, putting it in the center, but underneath the hair and wrapping it underneath so you get this nice look. The reason why I like doing these braids a little bit better is when you do an updo and you want it to have like a volumey braid, that's really trendy right now, you can actually pull out the section. It's called flouncing. So you slowly just loosen it up. And this is how you get those beautiful, beautiful big braids. You just want to be really gentle that you don't pull the whole thing out. Sorry, I just realized my arms were in the way. So you're just slowly pulling it out and loosening it up. So you get a nice thick crown braid, or however you want to do it. So now that you've loosened it up, you may want to like secure it down to the head depending on the technique you're using. So I usually will add a little bit of hairspray. And then if you get it really, really loose, like you've done a really big braid, you can actually take a bobby pin and go right in the heart of the braid and go in. So then that just will keep it secure so it's not moving and falling apart if you were doing an updo. So that's pretty much how to do two different types of French braids. The regular traditional French braid. And I find if you try to flounce this type of braid, it just ends up looking really loose and not really classy at all. This one looks much prettier and can be more of a focal point for an updo. The main thing with braiding is just practice, practice, practice. Learning how to hold everything in your fingers at the same time. Make sure you're going from the outside in and just holding it nice and tight. All right, so we're gonna do the winner for today's draw. So the winner today is going to win Pillow Proof Dry Shampoo, Diamond Oil Glow Dry Shampoo and Conditioner, or Glossing Shampoo and Detangling Conditioner. They're so cute, they're little baby pink ones. And a mini hairspray. So if you guys want to win, just comment and we'll enter you to win. And congratulations, Brenda Poole, you won today. Yay! So congratulations, thank you so much for commenting. And we'll see you tomorrow with another tutorial and another giveaway. Bye!